Hello and welcome to New Beginnings Start Today, the podcast for people who want to grow deeper in their faith in the Lord. I'm your host, Dr. Douglas Keffer, a minister, clinical pastoral counselor here in Roanoke, Virginia, with a passion for helping people live their faith. Today, we'll talk about alcoholism and how you can better understand how it affects the people you know and love. I had open heart surgery for an aortic dissection in May of 2007. My surgeon told me that I had to walk to allow my cardio condition to stay as healthy as possible. Before the surgery, I walked 4 mornings a week and hit my weight apparatus 3 times a week, so walking and exercising were no stranger to me. I added going to our local Walmart and began doing laps around the peripheral of the store twice a day inside the store. The management and I got to know each other very well, and we still do. Walking in the store allowed me to watch the spending habits of people, and one of those spending habits that amazed me was the amount of alcohol people bought in just the time it took me to do my 3 laps, down to 1 now because of my scoliosis. I would joke with my heart keeper and others, I saw enough beer and wine in the carts today that people were buying that would float a battleship. It was and is amazing how much people drink, and the statistics of how this malady is growing is staggering. Are you seeing on these commercials how the liquor and beer and wine companies are targeting the specific age groups in their TV commercials? Most of all the commercials are showing young men and women in their 20s and early 30s having a wonderful time on the beach with their tubs full of iced beer. Then there is a focus on families having dinner, and all the adults have their wine glasses and the children have their sodas or water, and they are having a wonderful time. These companies spend millions of dollars on their research on how they can make drinking their product the most exciting and fulfilling experience possible. They make it very attractive, and obviously there are millions of people believing that what they are selling of how you can have a wonderful time drinking at every meal or consistently, or when you are at a restaurant having alcohol, is just as common as ordering water with your meal. Let me share a few facts where we are with alcoholism. It is called alcohol use disorder, ADU, clinically. That people in the age group of 12 and older, that according to the 2021 National Survey on Drug Use and Health, 29.5 million people ages 12 and older, or 10.6% of this age group, had AUD in the past year. This includes 16.6 million males ages 12 and older, 13.0 million females ages 12 and older, 18.7 million white people ages 12 and older, 3.5 million black or African American people ages 12 and older, 280,000 American Indian or Alaska Native people 12 years and older. And I could go on and on and on. How is it possible that we are facing this kind of epidemic? King Solomon addressed this condition and why it happens in this way in Proverbs 23, verses 29 through 35. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has contentions? Who has complaints? Who has wounds without cause? Who has redness of eyes? Those who linger long at the wine. Those who go in search for mixed wine. Do not look on wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it swirls around smoothly. At the last it bites like a serpent. It stings like a viper. Your eyes will see strange things, and your heart will utter perverse things. Yes, you will be like one who lies down in the midst of the sea, or like one who lies at the top of the mast, saying, They have struck me, but I was not hurt. They have beaten me, but I did not feel it. When shall I awake, that I may seek another drink? He addresses addiction with, When shall I awake, that I might seek another drink? Solomon is describing the effects of what happens to a person when addicted to alcohol. He is telling us the effect that it also has on the people who are in the environment of the addict. Their world is basically turned upside down, and the pain of living with the addict is horrific. I know personally how families are affected by this disease because it has touched my family also. My Uncle Jim, who lived in Los Angeles, drank himself to death over grieving the loss of his dear wife. He was an alcoholic for years, and vodka was his drink of preference. The young couple who watched after him found him on a Sunday morning, sitting in his chair, and his glass with some vodka still in it was in his hand. He had died sitting there drinking his life away. Solomon says, At the last it bites like a serpent and stings like a viper. My Aunt Loretta and I flew to California and buried my uncle beside his dear wife that he pined for. His addiction to alcohol ended his life way before it should have ended. How many of you who are listening to this podcast can tell me the same kind of story about your loved one that alcohol took their lives? I have a very simple remedy for this addiction and any other kind of temptation that can run and turn into an addiction. My parents told me this, along with my 4 siblings. Don't take your first drink, and you will not have to quit. I cannot tell you the number of clients I had in my counseling ministry that sat and told me horror stories of husbands, wives, parents, grandparents that were addicted to alcohol, and they tried time after time to help them, but that person loved addiction more than they loved their loved ones. You may say that is not true, but I challenge you to talk to one of those who lived in that situation, and they will tell you that that is how the addiction made them feel, and it was true because of the addict's behavior. I want to encourage you that are struggling with this addiction to seek professional help from programs your employer may provide, from Alcohol Anonymous, or treatment centers that you can find in your area. Most importantly, you would pray for help and strength that your relationship with Jesus can afford you. He will give you the strength to overcome your cravings for alcohol. Listen to what the prophet Isaiah said in chapter 41 and verse 10. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. This promise is for you or your loved one or friend that needs to be healed from this addiction. This is where healing begins, along with many helps that are available to you in your community. I pray that you will take advantage of them so that you can restore the broken relationships your addiction has caused, and that you will see that there is a healing that is possible to live, that allows you to live a fulfilled life free of alcohol. God bless you, because it is possible. Thank you for listening to this episode, and I want to invite you to contact me and share how you find the trust that you can be free from this alcoholism. If you're seeing this on YouTube, please click the subscribe button or the like button and the like button, and also click on the share button and share it with all your friends. That will be so helpful to me. Tell me about other issues you would like me to address by leaving your comments, and you can reach me at drdouglaskeffer@gmail.com. Until next time, God bless each of you. God bless each of you.